I've got a rhythm, that pitter-pats through my brain. So darn persistent, the day isn't distant when it'll drive me insane. Comes without warning, especially in the morning, and hangs around me all day. I want to sneak up to it someday and speak up to it. I hope it listens when I say, fascinating rhythm, you got me on the go. Fascinating rhythm, I'm all a quiver. What's this mess you're making? The neighbors want to know why I'm always shaking just like a flivver. Each morning I wake up with the sun, to find at night no work has been done. I know that once it didn't matter, but now you're doing wrong when you start to patter. I'm so unhappy. Why'd I take the day off? Decide to run away somewhere far away off and make it snappy. Oh, how I long to be the girl I used to be. Fascinating rhythm, won't you stop picking on me? Fascinating rhythm, you got me on the go. Fascinating rhythm, I'm all a quiver. What's this mess you're making? The neighbors want to know why I'm always shaking just like a flivver. Each morning I wake up with the sun, always hopping, never stopping, to find at night no work has been done. I know that once it didn't matter, but now you're doing wrong when you start to patter. I'm so unhappy. Why not take the day off? Decide to run away somewhere far away off and make it snappy. Oh, how I long to be the girl I used to be. Fascinating rhythm, a fascinating rhythm, fascinating rhythm. Won't you stop picking on me?
Welcome to Jazz Vespers in Murrayville online edition, offered to you by United Churches of Langley in British Columbia, Canada. We're thrilled to continue to offer this jazz worship one Sunday a month in the afternoon, live streamed online and available 24/7, 365 days a year. If jazz has become your spiritual practice of choice in your daily or nightly lives. This month, November 2020, as the whole world has been watching what's going on south of the 49th parallel in North America and contemplating who and what is leadership, we just north of the 49th parallel in Langley, BC, have been having a different conversation, taking a different twist in our conversations and contemplations. This month, we launched Shift Podcast. It's a rich and ongoing conversation about faith and life and death and curiosity and imagination. This month, we engage with faith and how it intersects with cognitive science. How do we come together and see how our brains work and how we relate to faith? And so I got to thinking, maybe we should engage on how jazz and faith intertwine. How do they intersect together and come together over the last century in conversation, in secular worlds as well as religious worlds? And so you'll get a start of that conversation today, and then you'll choose how you go with it. You may be inspired to go and download some more jazz, or to listen to our Shift podcast, or to listen to this again to say, what was she saying about that? However you choose to engage, I hope for the next hour you're with us, that you become inspired, that you feel that breath of God as we journey together. As we gather and acknowledge that we gather on the unceded and ancestral lands of the Kwantlen, the Matsqui, the Katzie, and the Semiahmoo people here. Wherever you are around the world watching this, take a moment to feel into your heart and to acknowledge the first peoples of your land, and realize that they are ancestors that cared for the land, but they may not be your ancestors. And so as we contemplate how we came to be on the land where we work and we live, let us remember there may be a walk of reconciliation that is needed as we walk that path of peace and honor the ancestors of the land.
Good afternoon. Welcome to our second fall online Jazz Vespers at the United Churches of Langley. Today we welcome a wonderful group called Szentes and Jazzlinks. Oh, that's me. I'm Linda. And to my right, we have Michael Toth on the guitar. And we have Johan Wurst on the bass. This is a sideways bass. And we have Zoltan Kollar on the drums. Today we're going to be playing some really super tunes for you. Something old, like 1920s. Something new, a tune I wrote called Tomorrow's. Something borrowed. Well, these are all jazz standards that we're covering in some cases, but we change them up a bit, make them more modern. And something blue, because we like to put the blues into our music. Hope you enjoy.
Sin in syncopation? An article published in 1921 in the Women's Home Journal entitled, "Does Jazz Put the Sin in Syncopation?" opens up with these words. Jazz originally was the accompaniment to the voodoo dancer, stimulating a half-crazed barbarian in the vilest of deeds. The weird chant accompanied by syncopated rhythm has also been employed by other barbaric people to stimulate brutality and sensuality. It has a demoralizing effect on the human brain that has been demonstrated by scientists, at least in 1921. What? David Aravet's response to that quote was, he's the founder of the Christian Jazz Artists Network. He acknowledges that in 1921 there was quite a movement of people coming out against jazz. Both religious leaders, music educators, and even the scientists were getting in on the game during that time. But in his article reflecting on this quote from the Women's Journal, he goes on to share Reverend Alan Kershaw's perspective that jazz that is played with feeling and inspiration seems more truly an act of worship than some of the songs that we sing from our Sunday school days. Through jazz, life is big and wide and deep, and it takes us beyond the phony, the banal, the superficial, and allows us to move into that place, that deeper, higher place of the source of goodness, of Godness itself. In this sense, jazz can actually be a glorious anthem of praise. Little different perspective than those ladies back in 1929. As jazz is played and improvisation takes place, both the audience and the musicians have the opportunity to open up to that higher place, to have that experience of the transcendent open up for them. Might they even become jazzed? But in jazz, we have to ask, is that spiritual? Is that felt sense of synergy and movement and of the Spirit that's within us, that deep and profound sense of spirituality that all of us, or many of us, yearn for? I have to agree with another quote from the early 1900s that said this: "It ain't no sin to step out of your skin and dance around with your bones." I think we should all listen to this love waltz that's about to play and get out of our skin and dance in our bones.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Da 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 da.
Inspiration. In an article in Christian Today, Andrew Wilson says this: since the first century, Christians have claimed that the Bible is inspired by God. Nowadays, we use that word inspired for almost every creative feat, from a poem or a song or a lecture, or I guess for some, even a touchdown. It might be an inspired act on the part of an athlete. Jazz musician John Raymond speaks about how he is inspired by jazz. Jazz had made me someone who trusts God. Jazz is improvised and messy, he says. When performing, I don't know exactly where my fellow bandmates are going to go. The spontaneity pushes right up against my impulse to control. God has used jazz to teach me to trust in grace, to let go of my grasp and to live moment by moment by moment in spirit. And this hasn't just shaped John's way of playing music. He says it's changed the way he parents, the way he works, the way he teaches, the way he lives life. Let's listen to this next song in a mellow tone and allow ourselves to be inspired, to feel the breath of God breathing, the movement of the Spirit moving, to listen and to feel the mellow tone of God playing in our hearts.
1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. In a mellow tone, feeling fancy free, and I'm not alone. I've got company. Everything's okay. The livelong day with this mellow song, I can't go wrong. In a mellow tone, that's the way to live. If you mope and grow, something's got to give. So go your way and laugh and play. There is joy unknown in a mellow tone. In a mellow tone, feeling fancy free, and I'm not alone. I've got company. Everything's okay. The livelong day with this mellow song, I can't go wrong. In a mellow tone, that's the way to live. If you're more than grown, then something's got to give. So go off on your way, laugh and play. There's joy, I know, in a mellow. In a mellow, mellow stands for yellow. In a mellow, live in a mellow tone.
Expect the unexpected. John Raymond says this about success: I'm successful if I'm out of the way as much as possible. When I meditate and pray before I go out on stage, I'm seeking to die to myself, to remind myself that this isn't about me or what I want. I just want to be a conduit for the people that are all around to know and experience God in a powerful way. He named his jazz band Real Feels because it reflects their desire to be honest, to be genuine and personal as they play. As jazz musicians, they're constantly creating and responding to each other, which means that they have to be vulnerable to each other so that they can hear the music and know where it wants to go next. He says that ultimately it feels like they're listening to where God wants the music to go, when the audience can listen in the same way, expecting the unexpected. They embrace the potential for the transcendent to happen. This is often where we feel that presence of God on the move. Let's listen to that next song, What'll I Do? And realize it's not about you. It's not about what we want, but it's about allowing ourselves to feel that movement of spirit, that movement of God that is already moving here and now, where God is inspiring the musicians as they synergize together. Let us expect the unexpected and embrace the potential for the transcendent to happen.
1, 2, 3. What'll I do when you are far away and I am blue? What'll I do? What'll I do when I am wondering who is kissing you? What'll I do? What'll I do with just a photograph to tell my troubles to? When I'm alone with only dreams of you that won't come true, what'll I do? Ba-da-ba-ba-da-da. Ba-da-ba-ba-da. Kissing you, what will I do? What will I do with just a photograph? Oh, to tell my troubles to. When I'm alone and wondering who to tell all my troubles to, and you are far away and I am blue. But and I am blue. What will I do? I loves you, Porgy.
Jazz leads to. Donald Miller, in his book, Blue Like Jazz, shares this. I never liked jazz because jazz music never resolves. I didn't like God either because God didn't resolve. In his earlier years, Donald was vaguely familiar with a distant God. He then pursued a Christian life with lots of zeal, and within a few years became burned out, feeling empty, and once again feeling far away from God. Through jazz, Donald had an intimate, soul-searching, remarkable journey back to a culturally relevant, infinitely loving God. If you are thirsting for a genuine experience and encounter of God that is real, relevant, wondering if there is such a thing as faith for the 21st century in this weird and crazy postmodern culture that we live in. But if you're opening up to new perspectives, new ways of looking and living life, new ways of being on a path of love and of faith, jazz may be the road that leads you back, or maybe forward. Maybe forward to a God that is real and relevant, to a faith that allows you to have faith in life, in love, in goodness, and in godness. Who knows? Maybe it'll lead you back or lead you forward.
One, two, and three, and four. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia, Georgia, a song of you sounds as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still, in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still, in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you, you, Georgia. Oh, Georgia, no peace I find. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Savor, touch, heal. Reverend Bill Carter says this: jazz originated in experiences of brokenness and oppression and is the perfect kind of music to provoke reflection. Jazz is something that can speak to people in a way that is totally different from classical music. There is so much improvisation happening in jazz that it really has to come to you through your soul. It's a much more personal experience in his mind. Jazz can touch or even heal, creating more joy and freedom for some. A jazz approach to life will say this: there is always more here than what is on the page, and maybe you haven't just discovered it yet. During the next song, have a spontaneous time of tea with God. Allow yourself to be touched, to taste and to savor, and possibly heal. To reflect using the tones of this wonderful old jazz tune, updated for our world and our time, as a time to just be with God, to chat for a while, to connect and open up to the savoring of the Spirit that heals.
I'm discontented by rooms that are rented, so I have invented my own. Darling, this place is a lover's oasis where life's weary chase is unknown. Far from the cry of the city, where flowers pretty caress the streams, cozy to hide in, to live side by side in. Don't let it abide in my dreams too. I want 2, 3, and picture you upon my knees. Just tea for two and two for tea. Just me for you and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us. No friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have known that we own a telephone, dear. Day will break and you will wake and start to bake a sugar cake for me to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we would be, we three? Picture you up on my knee, just 2 for 2, 2 for tea. Oh, can't you see how happy we would be? Nobody knows a sister, here is no friends or relations or weekend vacations. We won't have it on the week on the telephone, dear. Day will break, you will wake and start to bake a sugar cake for me to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we would be? Can't you see how happy we would be?
I'm hoping you, like me, are loving this intertwining of faith and jazz and how it has become an inspiration to more faith, to a deeper understanding, to a sense of trust. This type of exploration of alternative worship, like our Jazz Vespers and our Shift podcast, are supported by the generosity of people like you. People who are connected to the congregation in United Churches of Langley, or people who have connected with us through our online offerings. We give thanks for those who can give generously through our many ways of giving and supporting all of the ministries of United Churches of Langley, in particular these wonderful alternative ways of gathering during this time. And so there's ways that you can give through GivePoint, which is our online channel for giving, or to send an e-transfer to transfers@ucol.ca, or send us some money in the mail. However you choose to give, we give you thanks for your generosity, and we hope that we can continue to connect with you through all of our online ways as we grow together in exploring faith, music, life, death, and all of those wonderful things that are part of this conversation. Thanks for your gifts. God of rhythm and patterns, unexpected and mysterious, we look and listen for you in the silence and in the sound. Help us to take time to tune into your rhythms, to open up to your movement in our lives. Let us find the beats in the wilderness, feel your rhythm in our communities, to hear the tune in the families, and to see your notes on the song pages of our lives. Let us open to be your instruments through which the touch and feel and hear and heal of the world happens. May our tomorrows be filled with the music of the cosmos, always and in all ways, now and forever and ever. Amen.
A 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4. Deep in a pocket of dark, my arms, my wings, I'm flying miles above the ground. From what I see through tops of trees, seems like I've been here before. Velvet tapestry of night, show me what you want me to see. Closer now, a town, a street, a dwelling glowing from inside. It's clearer from this distance. The souls within are lovingly tucked in the blanket of my dream. Silent pictures in the night. What will the future be? Closer now, a town, a street, a dwelling glowing from inside. It's clearer from this distance.